Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Elena. I'm a professional makeup artist based in Vienna, and today I'm going to show you how to achieve this makeup look. What do we think? So 2 weeks ago I posted a video doing a full face of Essence makeup products, and someone in the comments really wanted to see a tutorial on this eyeshadow look, so here we go. Make sure that you are subscribed, like this video, leave a comment, and let's get right into it. Also, as you can see, I'm still struggling with the bangs because now they kind of grew, so I can't really put them in the front, all of them in the front. So this is what we've got going on. Please help. Okay, so let's get into it. I already did one eye off camera just because that way I can focus more on explaining. Okay, first off, I'm just gonna go ahead and use an eye primer. I'm using the one from Cara Beauty. It's super sticky and I really like this when I'm doing eyeshadow. I know a lot of people use concealer. I would not recommend that just because concealer has hydrating properties, and when you put hydrating properties on your lid, sometimes the eye makeup will just start moving throughout the day, especially if you have oilier lids, like it will just not hold. So I like to do something that's mattifying if I do like a whole matte look that's super simple, or something that's super sticky and gripping if I want to do something colorful or just like any other look. I don't know why I'm not looking in the camera, I'm looking in the mirror, sorry. Okay, next, if I want to do like a more complex eyeshadow look, I love to always layer my products. So I will start with cream products and then I will go with powder on top. For this specific look, for all the matte things, I'm using the Danessa Myricks Groundwork palette. We have cream and powder formulas inside. You can see it here. This is a palette that needs some getting used to, but once you got a hang of it, it's the best out there. So I'm going in with a concealer brush into the cream brown shade. And I'm using this cream product first, just doing tapping motions to kind of sketch out the shape. And the reason I love to layer creams and powders is because you just kind of get this beautiful blend and this opacity in your eye look. Like there's not gonna be any patchiness going on. You will see. And it just makes everything way easier to blend, to be honest. And like I said, I'm only doing tapping motions. When you're doing eyeshadow, make sure to always check your shape from looking straight ahead with your eyes open. Because whenever you're looking in different directions, looking up, moving your face like this, you're changing the shape of your eyelid. So it's gonna look good like this, but then when you relax your face, it's no longer gonna have the same shape. Hope that makes sense. Now I just keep tapping, and I always love to take my brown eyeshadow all the way up to my nose, like this. This is also a technique that Tafini Neziri always does. If you look at her reels, you can clearly see it. I don't do it as extreme, I don't do it as precise, because it's just not really my style of makeup. But it's great, especially if you have a wider space between your eyes. Like this, you can just kind of bring them in a bit closer together, or just really sculpt the nose if your nose is a bit wider and you want it to be more snatched, like this. Okay. Then I'm still using the cream formula, and I'm also gonna smudge it underneath my eyes, like this. Trying not to stab myself in the eye while I'm filming. Okay, and after I do that, because I want a bit more depth going on, I'm gonna go ahead and use shade Bark. This is a super dark brown, and I'm using the cream again. So I'm doing cream on top of cream, and I'm only using this on the, kind of like from the half of my eye outwards, like this. And again, I'm only doing tapping motions. And then if I want to blend it out a bit more, I'm kind of dragging it, so I'm pulling like this. But the main move is always tapping. And I also apply some on my lower lash line, but only on the outer part. Just to really connect these two together to really get that lifting effect. And then sometimes you might need to switch to a cleaner brush now, because you can see I'm starting to take the brown too far up. And in this case, I'm just gonna go ahead and go to the powders. Now this is a brush I used for the powder brown. And before I take any new eyeshadow, I'm just using it to tap around here and ensure a seamless blend. Like this. Okay, and now we are getting into the powder formula. So now I'm just gonna take a Katie Jane Hughes Spectrum brush. These are the best brushes out there, guys. And I'm going into shade Mirage from the Danessa Myricks palette, the powder one now. And I'm starting on the outer part. Again, I'm only tapping at first now. So whenever we're tapping eyeshadow, we are building the color and making sure everything is evenly distributed. And I only start swiping right at the end when I'm sure that everything is laid down perfectly and I just want a bit of a blend. For example, in my crease, like here, I'm just tapping it here and now I'm swiping. And whenever I'm swiping, I'm not holding my brush super far up, because that way I'm just applying a lot of pressure. I'm holding my brush super far down actually, because this just allows me to move freely and that blend will be super nice. And now I'm just kind of blending everywhere. I also love taking brown eyeshadow all the way to the temples for that extra lift, like this. Really love it. Then I'm also taking some powder brown on my lower lash line. And if I'm missing anything or if you guys have any questions, please just comment down below and I will answer to everyone. Then again, we're going back in with a smaller blending brush. This is a super old Jeffree Star Cosmetics Morphe brush, I think. And I'm going in with shade Harvest, which is a little bit more on the warmer side. And again, I'm just tapping. This is just like a whole lot of layering. If you want a flawless eyeshadow, you're just gonna have to take your time with the blending. So a lot of the times I will just be going back and forth with like the same shades forever, just till I'm super happy with the way it looks. Put some on the lower lash line. Now, believe it or not, we are basically almost done. This is like the most difficult part. Now I'm going to go ahead and take a gold eyeshadow. I'm using the Bronze Espresso Eyes palette from Zoeva. This is their Velvet Love palette, and I'm just gonna take this shade right here. And you don't need any fancy brushes, no nothing. You're just gonna put it on your finger. And this formula is perfect. Like if you're only into doing very natural minimal makeup looks, these Zoeva quads are insane. The quality is so good. And you can see with your finger, you're not able to get in all those cracks. So I'm not even gonna try. Now I'm just gonna switch to a brush. I'm taking a little bit more of that gold on the brush. And I'm just using the brush to get in all the nooks and crannies. And I also like to kind of go with the gold right up until my brow. And we're also gonna do some gold on the lower lash line for this look. So I'm just looking up. Don't worry too much about anything. It's just makeup, everything is fixable, perfect. And now I'm taking the shade that's a bit lighter and I'm only placing it high right underneath my brow bone, like this. And you can see like I'm not too worried of where I'm getting the shimmer, because whenever you put shimmer in a look, the mistakes are not as easy to see as when you're doing an all matte look. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and take a black liner. I'm using the Banana Beauty Basic Peach one. And I'm just doing a very thin line. And you don't have to do this step if you don't like eyeliner. I just really love the way this defines your lashes. And I'm going all the way up until my eye ends almost. If your eye is more downturned, don't go all the way down. It's just gonna drag your eye down. Just stop about like 3 lashes before your eye stops and start blending everything upwards. Let me know if you would also like me to do maybe tutorials on other people where I can show you makeup looks on different eye shapes. I think that would also be really cool. Okay, now I'm just going back in with the Vanessa Marks palette, and I'm gonna be switching back and forth between some palettes. I'm sorry for that. I just don't really have one that has all I need in it. And I'm going in that cream black just to blend this eyeliner out a bit, because I just don't want it to end so abruptly, so I'm just kind of smoking it out a bit. And then again underneath my eye. Am I still in frame? Yeah. Okay, so you can clearly see the difference once you apply that black also. Okay, now again with the Vanessa Marks palette, this is just so multifunctional. I'm using shade Sandstone, the cream formula, on my waterline. And this is so good on the waterline. I live for a nude waterline. What do we think? Okay, and now we're just gonna need to do that pop of color. I'm sorry in advance I did not do purple just because I did it last time and I wanted to do something a little bit different, but I will show you the exact shade I used in the previous video. So I'm using the Cara Beauty White Eye Base, just like a dot. For this step, I would always recommend a white eye base, just because it's way better, trust me. The colors just pop way more on these. Now I'm just taking a brush and I'm lightly tapping all around it, just to kind of have that blend. And if I were to apply the blue directly on that patch of white, like it would be too thick and it would just not look good, it would just go all slimy. And you can see, sometimes I also really love the looks where it's like a white inner corner, but today we're doing something colorful. Okay, now I'm switching palettes. So for the previous look, this is my absolute favorite eyeshadow palette ever. This is the Be Perfect Interstellar Carnival. And I'm gonna use this shade right here. Is it that one? Yeah. I'm gonna use shade Nebula. And for the other look, I used this one right here. And I'm actually taking it on a bigger blending brush. And I'm just tapping it. I start right in the center. And then with whatever's left on my brush, I'm kind of blending it outwards. I'm also taking some of that shade Fiction that's gonna turn everything purple and just putting it on the edges just to be a little bit extra. Like this. And now you can see they're still like not the same. And you can just take your highlighter for this part. I'm taking an Ardell eyeshadow palette. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. This is what my hand looks like once we're done with the videos. So I hope this tutorial helped you. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more tutorials or if you just prefer makeup reviews or things like that. So I'm definitely open to all types of content. You can see I went a bit crazier here with the inner corner. My dog is stretching, it's fine. So this is basically the look. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and add mascara. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, whatever it is you want to do. But I would be the happiest about comments, I think, because I just really love interacting with you guys. And I will see you in my next video. Bye guys. Final look.